Hi guys, it's Andy from mcfcfantv. Sorry, a little bit late. We're just waiting on a guest who's still sort of hanging on. So I want to say a massive thank you to the guys who come on tonight. We've got Jack Lee's on. Thank you very much, Jack. We've got Paul as well. Paul's on. Paul Standall, you know, from the channel anyway. But yeah, we're still waiting for Yannicka. Yannika's supposed to be on, but maybe she's been wrapped up with a little bit of work, but she might join us at some point on the vlog. So I want to say a massive thank you to the guys for coming on. Let's just see who's on. Hello there, says Man City 255. Let me just go down. Let's see. We've got Enter Zone says Champions City. Not yet. We'll talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. Addy says hello, chat. Charlie Everett's on. Good evening, Blues. 90 minutes away from the UEFA Champions League final. Also went to the Etihad today, which was good. Addy says Man City would be writing history tomorrow, lads. We're truly blessed to be able to witness it. Well, not writing history, getting to a final. Got to win it yet, mate. Sean Fogarty, 2-1 City, you reckon? We're going to talk about that. And we'll talk about the lineups as well. David Pike is on. I'm going to need a bottle of JD tomorrow night to get through this. Come on, City. Good luck with that one, mate. Kieran May says, hello, lads. Ray Fernley, hi all. How are you? Mark Boland said, what's up? How are you? Can we do predicted lineups? I did say below. Yes, Mark Boland will be doing that. Score predictions, hold them, because we're going to do the PSG. Going to do the PSG thing towards the end. We'll be on for about an hour. Should be a cracking vid, this, you reckon, Harge? We'll wait and see. Keep your score predictions back. We'll ask you later. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Now, let this glorious river shine. I would like to join here too, would you? Well, you have to hit that subscribe button, mate. Hey, it's starting, says 255, Man City. Can't call me for being late ever again. Hey, listen, it's not down to me. We were waiting for a guest, so we thought, seeing as though it was a lady, Martin, we'd give her the benefit of the doubt and wait. It's not like you, where you're just late naturally. I'll only be here for a while because I've got school tomorrow. I've got to go like 10:30, no problem. Oh, no, we'll only be here for an hour, mate, so that'll be plenty of time. Anybody headed down to the stadium tomorrow? Not me. Blue Heart says, I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. Good evening to everyone and anyone that has travelled over from France. Yeah, 15 dislikes. Come on, guys, really? Hell, we know where they're from. Hi, Lee Cullen. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. There was a big, massive jump there. So I want to say hi to Lee Cullen. Let me go back to where that was. Bloody hell, massive, loads of people on. Noah's on. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. A bonjour, says Addy. One shot Dickoff's on. How are you, mate? We win it tomorrow and the Champions League is ours. I truly believe it. Got to get through tomorrow night first, mate. Practicing booing all day for tomorrow night. Boo, boo, the Champions League. John Cartier's on. No, Jean Cartier, depends. I regret my decision eating a lot of McDonald's today. Not very good for you, that. Hi, lads. Hope you're good. How are you? Tim Smith. Hope you're well, buddy. Thomas McDermott. You fellas heading down to the stadium tomorrow? No, I won't be. Hello, Andy. How are you? I just leave it to the players. Remember, we are still in a semi-lockdown. Madness. Adam Quinn. Hi, Andy. How are you? Adam, hope you're well. Hi, Andy and co. Samuel Gringo's on. Hi, all in the chat. Says Tim Smith. Hello to Andy, Jack, and Paul. Smash the button, the like button, please, says Tim Smith. Thank you very much, mate. Pep has got loads of experience in the UEFA Champions League, and he said today that the UEFA Champions League second leg is harder than the final. He also said he's very confident as well, looking at is Mark still with T-Rex? Mark with T-Rex? Mark? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Blue Art, you'll have to expand on that one. I know who's T-Rex is, and that's Hudson. He's T-Rex with those little hands on that video. The press reports that Neymar made the following statement yesterday: I will do anything to beat Man City, even if it's to die on the pitch. Yeah, in his dreams. Jesus. That guy will just, he'll just roll and roll and roll around all day tomorrow. We know that for sure. What else? So we've got a Mingy Wong's on. How are you? 41 in the chat. Let's get 100 plus, please. That's great. Thank you, Tim. Massic255, thank you so much for the super chat. Up the Blues. Let's make it to the final. City till I die. That's the spirit. 255. I like it. Thank you. Hey up, all. Great to see Paul and Jack back on. It is. Jack might be pausing it only because he's got a little bit of audio issues, but he'll be on mute. But then when he comes in, we can hear what Jack's got to say. Abdallah's on. Hi, Andy and everyone. Hope Paul is well. Very good, mate. All the salty 2-year-old Man City haters, go play your Fortnite and shut up. Paul Moore is on. It's our time. I've not been nervous once in this campaign. Just got a feeling we will play blinded tomorrow. I'm with you, mate. I have not been nervous one bit. Not one bit. Not even prior to the PSG game. None whatsoever. Is Anelka suffering from pre-match? Is Annika suffering from pre? Oh, Blue Art, you're going to have to give us a clue tonight, mate. This is all very cryptic. We let Martin off because it's natural that he's late. Yeah, of course it is. Thanks, Mansick255. There you go. Dale Brennan's on. How are you? MCFC Dublin Ireland. Come on, City tomorrow night. At least the game will go ahead. Proper fans. Absolutely shame we're not there. But Noah Pearson says Neymar dies on the pitch every game and then is resurrected. It's like he gets snipes from the top seats in the stadium when he dies of game. It's embarrassing. But anyway, Jack, you can unmute quickly just to say hello. How are you, mate? And thank you for coming on Man City Fan TV.
Hello. Cheers for having me on, mate.
You're welcome. There you go. That was short and sweet from Jack. He's up and he's back on mute again. Paul, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Yeah, rubbish day weather-wise, but yeah, it's good to be back on. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it's been garbage today. I was up in Manchester. Well, I was in Burnage at my mum's, and yeah, the weather was absolutely appalling. The M56 was chock-a-block with travellers, and it was like, gee, not travellers, I was in pikey travel. People and cars and that type of thing. But anyway, we're going to go through, first off, we're going to quickly go through the player ratings so you'll all get an opportunity to give us your player ratings. I'll have a look, obviously, what Simon Pachowski says. So this is all about the Palace game. Don't forget, only a couple of days ago, we beat Palace 2-0, which was an absolutely brilliant result. The first half performance wasn't so great. But second half, again, we just sort of sprung into life, didn't we? And the 3 points is all that matters at the end of the day. And we saw an absolute corker from Sergio Aguero. And I must admit, I'll hold my hands up. I did say on here, it's such a shame. On Martin's watch along, it's such a shame seeing Sergio going through the motions and literally 5 minutes later he goes and bangs in that goal. So just got to show you what sort of pundits we are here on. Well, I am on Man City Fan TV, but hey, it is what it is. It was a cracking goal. But let's go through the team lineup quickly, and you're going to have to be quick to get your comments in because we want to talk about the Man United protest next, and then we'll go into the PSG preview. So on to Ederson. What were your thoughts, Paul, on Ederson?
Yeah, I think he had like one save to make from Benteke was at the post and stuff, and then pretty much everything else he didn't really have much to do, did he? It was just a steady Eddie game, wasn't it? I'd probably give him a 7 because he probably didn't have that much to do, as per usual, really. So
it is. Was that really 24 clean sheets, is it, so far this season?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Is that now with
24 or 25? You can't remember.
Yeah, with the Villa goalkeeper letting one in the other day. Does that mean he's pretty much that's it? Golden glove,
I think without a shadow of a doubt, he's got the golden glove. Jack, what score would you give Ederson for Saturday?
I'd probably say 7. He was almost a bystander for the game because almost never needed to make a save, really. Could have had the deck chairs out, really. So when he was needed, he was there. So a 7.
So you're going for a 7. What did Simon Pachowski give him? He said, virtually nothing to do with Crystal Palace refusing to get drawn into the press. He was perhaps restricted from dictating the build-up, as he often does, and he gave him a 6. Maybe. One chop your dick off gives him an 8. Solid 7 for Eddie. 6 did not have a lot to do, says Sean. Kieran May gives him 6, nothing to do. Man City 255 gives him a 7 as well. Not much to do, says Dudley, 7.5. Eddie gets an 8 from Ray Fernley. Lee gives him a 7. Neil Hanstock gives him an 8. Great save at 0-0. It was a good save, to be fair. It was. Nelly Tubu Chizongo says Ederson #1 in Brazil now. Ederson 7 for me, says Michael Feeney. Adi gives him an 8. Yusuf gives him a 7. Anybody else for scores? Gene or what is it? Is it Gene or is it John? What is it? Cartier. I'd love to know, only because it's Cartier. I'm thinking it's maybe Jean. It's French. Maybe it's Jean. I don't know. But 6.5. Abdallah gives Eddie an 8. Okay, so I think we give Ederson on here a solid 7. And that's off your scores. You're giving him, 6s, 6.5, 7s, 8. So give him a solid 7. He didn't have a great deal to do. It's John. Okay, John. I'm assuming there. Jean Cartier. Okay, thank you for that, for the clarification. Right, on to our right back, which, as we know, for Saturday was Cancelo. And this should be interesting because for me, I thought he had a pretty poor game. But we'll come to Paul. Paul, what was your thoughts on Cancelo on Saturday?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised he was going to play, actually. I really didn't think he would be in the starting lineup. I thought he'd be saved for tomorrow night's game. For Zinchenko probably would have played. But yeah, he was did a lot of running around, but there was a lot of wayward passes, and he looked really frustrated with himself, as though he's kind of just got off a little bit of form. It wasn't probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Everyone was raving about him being just superb, which he was.
Yeah.
But he just, I don't know, he just seemed to have just lost his way a little bit over the past couple of weeks or so. I think there was just a few wayward passes, and it didn't kind of work for him this weekend. Maybe it's a totally different lineup from what he's used to playing. So probably, that gel wasn't there like it normally would be with the team. But I think he still did all right. Probably about 6, 7 out of 10, probably steady, but nothing. But he didn't have an awful lot to do. He spent a lot of time going up the pitch and stuff, but it just wasn't working, that link-up play, I don't think, as he would normally. But will he get into tomorrow's night's team, which we'll come along talk about later on? But will he play tomorrow?
Interesting,
sure.
Jack, what were your thoughts on Cancelo against Palace?
I thought his passing was a bit off, so I'll probably give him a 5.5. Obviously, his work rate was there; he was running around a bit, but he just kept giving the ball away. And not a lot came off for him, really.
It didn't. No, it didn't. I agree. Abdi Malik says 5. Kieran says 6 was a bit sloppy. Sean says 6. Man City 255 says 6.5. Cancelo was 6, says Ray. Neil says 7. Better than in recent games. Addy says a 5. Sam gives him a 5. Big jump there, sorry. 6.5 here. Cancelo 4.45. You can't have 4 5s, mate. 5.5 for Cancelo, says Kurt. 4.4. You can't have them either, mate. So make your mind up which it is. But Ederson would be great if he had that. We're not talking about Ederson. We're talking about Cancelo. Cancelo did better than against PSG. Gave him a 7.5. Cancelo poor for me, a 5. Lee Cullen gives him a 6.5. Charlie gives him a 6. A few people saying he's been average of late. Dudley Lewis gives him a 6. What did Sam Bajowski? Sloppy start and looked particularly tired from midweek exertions, marking Neymar and then Wilfried Zaha in the space of 4 days does sound exhausting. In fairness, better in the second half and gave him a 6. I'd probably go with that one, if I'm being honest, and I'm probably being a bit generous, my own personal feelings, but I would have given him a 5. I thought his passing was atrocious, if I'm being for 70% of the game. But you guys get the deciding vote. So Cancelo gets a 6 because I think, apart from a couple of months where he was absolutely brilliant, a really, really good player in that false 8, and this is, he's going back to a right-back position, which I've always said he's not a great defender. When he's playing in that 8, is very, very good. But I thought his passing was awful on Saturday, if I'm being honest with you. But hey-ho. On to Eric. So we'll be quick on these ones. So Aymeric Laporte then is our next player. Paul? Yeah,
solid. Good. I thought he was good at the back. I thought that partnership with Aki worked quite well, actually. I thought them two were quite... they look so they played together quite a lot, actually. Well, they probably have in training, to be fair. But yeah, I think he brought the ball forward, which was good to see. He was involved in a lot of it when it was... the corners were coming in and stuff like that. He's a good player. He's good. That injury and stuff. It's not always easy. I mean, Aki's going to find it coming back in not always easy as well. But Laporte was out for a good bit, and if it wasn't for the form of Stones, I'm sure he'd be in that back line with Diaz, because them two, they're quality players. So yeah, I think he had a solid game. I think he's proper back on form. I think, depending on how we go on tomorrow night, I think players like Laporte could, run out the rest of the season in the back of that defence. I can see, Pep wanting to play these guys.
Yeah, interesting, Jack. Don't worry, mate. You don't have to be brief. Just have your say. It's no problem.
I thought it was solid. He's been getting back into form in recent weeks, I thought. Obviously, he's getting the run in the team now. Obviously, we're seeing the defender he was 2 years ago, and he can play alongside anyone like he did with Ake and Stones the other week. So I think he's getting a run in the team now. So I'd probably say 7.
Yeah, I thought he was quite decent. So we've got Kieran May says a 7, Sean says 6.5, and Laporte a 7, says Addy. Nothing special, an 8. Nothing special because Yusuf gives 8 for Laporte, and that's coming from Liverpool. I'm sure Yusuf's a Liverpool fan. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it was an 8.
You reckon he's an 8? Laporte.
I reckon it was an 8. Yeah.
Jean Carter says 8. Laporte 8, says Ray Firmly. Man City 255. Stop it. Laporte is a 7.3. We don't have those on here. Laporte 0.5, very composed. Kurt says 7.5, best defender on the night. Even if it wasn't night, it was the afternoon. It was a 12:30 kickoff, Kurt. I know you were probably... It's night for you because you sleep. You're awake all night and sleep during the day. He is definitely a vampire. Diagonal passes were great from Laporte. 7.5. Man City 255 says a lot of good potential. 7.3, enough. With that, 7.5, 8 from Dudley. Assam says 7.5. Abdallah gives him an 8. Sam gives him a 7. Michael Feeney gives him an 8. There you go. 12:30 p.m. is night for me. I know it is, mate. That's why we can never get hold of you. Laporte, says Simon Pajowski, looks like a player trying to make an impression. Dealt well with Christian Benteke and could have scored if not for a great block, but only gave him a 6. And that's a bit harsh, personally. But okay, I'm going to give Laporte 7.5 on average from your scores. I thought Laporte was very good. I thought he did really, really well. But there you go. It's all about what everyone else thinks, not about what I think. Moving on to his partner. It's going to be interesting on his partner. What were your thoughts on the main man on Saturday, 12:30. I was thinking that Sunday, 12:30. What day is it? Bank holiday, isn't it? It's Monday. His main man defending next to him was Nathan Ake, which is People have been calling for Ake to play. I must admit, I did not think he would play as a centre-back role or in a sort of, that particular role. What were your thoughts on Ake then, Paul?
Yeah, I thought he was going to come into the team, play left back and stuff, but he slotted into the defence, into the middle there. I thought he was good. He made a challenge late on in the game, I think it was, and he looks a player. I can't help but think I'm watching Ruud Gullit play, but he's got that quality there as well. Pep knows his players, and I think he'll be a major player next season. Another one who's been hit by injuries and had a tough season, but has he done much wrong since he come into the City team? I think he's been pretty solid. I think he's been all right. I think he's going to grow. I think he's got to grow into the City team still and stuff. But I don't think he looks out of place. I don't think he looks out of place in the team. I think he played all right.
I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. Bearing in mind, he's been injured quite a lot.
That's what I mean. He's been out so long as well.
Yeah.
So he's still getting used to it, and he's obviously playing in the City B team at the weekend.
Exactly.
And that, what's he going to be like if he was next to Diaz or next to Stones or, next season? He's another player who next season, you can see City getting stronger next year. Much stronger.
You can see he's going to get better, really.
Definitely. He's a quality player. But I mean, I have been reading today, though. Was it today or yesterday? People saying about him wanting to go because he hadn't had any game time. He's been injured.
I think that's garbage.
Please.
I think it's absolute nonsense. It was on City Extra, wasn't it, on Twitter?
Oh God, yeah. It's like,
that rumor came from Sport Witness, and it was not absolute nonsense. If he'd been in the team and fit and not playing, you go, I can understand why. It's not been fit.
No, exactly. That's why I think him and Laporte, the players like that, will get a good run in the team towards the end of the season. I mean, if it hadn't been for yesterday, if the league had been wrapped up next week against Chelsea and stuff, Pep will want to see what these guys are going to be like together and stuff, and Pep will start building for next season. Already league's wrapped up. He knows his team for the Champions League and stuff. These guys are going to get a chance. So I think it was just a stupid, probably this season's worst rumour.
Yeah, I think it's nonsense. Jack, what were your thoughts on Ake? We're not seeing a great deal of him, but obviously he came in and everyone's talking about him, wanting to see him, but he came in. What score would you give him?
Probably say a 7. He didn't do anything wrong, really. I thought he's built a good partnership with Laporte. I also thought he isn't really going to get into our team with the form Stones Diaz are in, especially coming from a relegated side. He's not going to get into the first team straight away, is he?
No, I agree with it. And your sound now is better, mate. It's fine. Your sound, so you can leave it. You can leave it muted. I agree with you, Jack. He's come in, new team, new Pep tactics, blah, 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 and, he's hardly played because of injury. So I think he's going to need at least a summer, pre-season tour or whatever happens with him. Sarah Bajowska says, kept the shape, didn't look like a player with only a handful of appearances this season, unlikely to displace Diaz and Stones for the Champions League, but may get more chances in the league, and gave him a 6. So there you go. Can't disagree with what Simon Bajowski says there, but on yours and 6s and 7s, and I'm going to go in
7.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I'm going to have to. It was 6s, 5.5s, and so I
Andy, you're starting to get into these 0.5 things now.
I know, but I know, but I have to take them. I always say 0.5. But I have to sort of take an average in the top of my head on what everyone else is. Not what my score. I would have given him a 7. I would have thought did nothing wrong, nothing brilliant. But then again, I always say if you do nothing wrong and nothing brilliant, it's a 6. It's just an average 6 for me. That's what I base my scores on. And if you do nothing wrong, nothing great, then it's a 6. Right, moving on to a very divisive figure. among City fans, certainly on Man City Fan TV, and that was our left back, who I thought personally was brilliant, and that was Benjamin Mendy. So, Paul.
Yeah, that was Mendy back to Mendy, what we signed him for, and the way he played. Looked happy, looked fit, defended well, going forward.
A lot fitter.
Yeah, and I'll get onto it later on with another player and stuff. I actually thought that some players looked really like physically fit, and they were bombing forward and stuff. And Mendy, the balls he was whipping in, you're thinking, if he'd have been whipping them in against PSG and we had a striker, PSG would have been put to bed that night, because he really did. He really did play well, and it's a good sign, that is. I mean, maybe it's a good sign for Pep, because Pep's thinking a few good games, we can get a bit more money for him if we do fancy selling him. But
maybe,
it's getting back to the Aki and Laporte thing. These players are fresh. These players haven't seen an awful lot of football this season, so they've got over their injuries. They're physically fit, and it's a good sign for the team at this moment, because all them players that were rested. This is a good sign. If the guys are coming in and they're playing well, if all goes well tomorrow, these guys will be playing next weekend again against Chelsea. Good game, Mendy. Good game. I'll probably give him about a 7 again. There's another one who deserves a 7 because of his crossing and stuff like that. But it was good to see him playing well again.
Well, Kurt's just said it, 7 for Mendy. I feel like people overrate his performance, but wasn't poor by any means. I'm not sure people overrated. I thought defensively he was very good. His passing was very good. Maybe
I don't think it was overrated. I think it was
got an assist.
Yeah, I think it wasn't overrated. I think he
just played, great pass.
Yeah, I think he just played Mendy as we know Mendy can play. So it was watching Mendy play Mendy's game, and it was good to watch and good to see. So overrated. I think it was just pleasing to see him have a really good go at the weekend.
I thought it was. I mean, 7. I probably
7.
Agree with the scoreline. Wouldn't discount that. SOS says 7. Jack, what were your thoughts on Mendy?
Probably say 7.5. I didn't actually know he got the assist, but he's put a decent few crosses in. His passing's improved, and his fitness levels have gone up. So I'm not going to lie, I was a bit nervous before he started the game, but he proved me wrong. And he's starting to get a decent run in the team now. I don't know if that's going to be permanent or not, but we might see him a bit more during the last few league games.
Yeah, Michael Feely says Mendy 7 for me. On his day, Mendy's great, says Abdi Malik. I agree. On his day, he is great. I was just surprised. He just looked so much fitter than I've seen him so far this season. He was full of energy, which we haven't really seen. We've seen him being a little bit in and out. But Simon Pachowski says, picked as the designated left-back in defence of 4 players capable of playing there. Mendy was okay, forcing Andros Townsend inside and added another body to the attack. Still needs to do more to be trusted in bigger games. I'll give him a 6. Okay. Right. Okay. It's everyone's opinion, but I'm going to give him a standard 7. That's what everyone seems to sort of be going for. So there you go. Mendy gets a 7 overall. So that's your scores, right? Jack, can you just press mute on yours for me, mate? We're moving on to our one of our centre midfielders, and that was Ferner. Over to you, Paul. What were your thoughts on Ferner on Saturday?
I just want to say something about Fernandinho. He has been superb over the past few games he's played. I think he's been exceptional. I mean, 36 years of age, and I think he's ran the show for the past few matches he's played. He just looks another one who's like loads of energy, bursting forward, tackling, doing those little challenges, sorting things out where he needs to sort things out, and he just controlled. Up until the point Aguero scored that goal, I thought Fernandinho was way above anybody else on that football pitch as the best player, in my opinion. I just think he shone. You know, he made. I think he was thinking playing alongside Rodri. I was thinking, hold on a minute, I fancy that Champions League chance on Tuesday night. You know, putting a good game here. But 36 years of age, and he was playing. And it's funny enough because Chelsea the same with Makelele, not Makelele. What's his name? Kante playing for them at the moment and stuff. Is been playing really well. And that them two players for the clubs at the moment, really good. Really, I think I've got him down as an 8, but it's only because somebody stole the show ahead of him later on. Fernandinho, an 8 for me. I think he was really good.
Is he part of the dad's army, as Martin would say, needs to go? Would you give him another year?
On that performance and on the performance of the past few games, Dad's army. He can retire at the club when he's 80, 90 for all I care. You know, I literally think he was. I think he literally has been that good. I think Rodri needs to be. I think just because Rodri's probably got younger legs than Fernandinho for tomorrow night, we'll get the call ahead of him. But yeah, I'll give him another year. Easy another year.
Jack, what score would you give him for Saturday's performance, and what your thoughts on Fernandinho?
I'd give him an 8. I think he never gives the ball away. He's always consistent week in, week out. And I'd give him a 70-year contract. I'll have him until he's 95. He might have lost the out of pace, but his brain's still there. And he always puts in the week in, week out. He's always consistent. He doesn't give the ball away. He always breaks up the attack of the opposition teams, and those tactical fouls, he'll always stop chances from getting in the box.
Yeah, well, Simon Bachowski says a third centre-back possession, a defensive midfielder out of it. Fernandinho switched between roles with ease and tried to dictate tempo with some pinpoint long balls forward. Didn't put a foot wrong. City's best player, and gave him an 8. So there you go, and that is I have to agree on that. And on your scores between 7s and 8s, I'm gonna go on the higher side, and I think Fernandinho was absolutely brilliant. Ferner gets an 8 from you guys. So just a brilliant player. Give him another year, for God's sake. Love that man, absolutely. Let's keep him here. Right, moving quickly on to his partner in the middle of the midfield. Very quickly on these, because we need to move on, and that is Rodri. So, Paul?
Right, quickly, Rodri, outshone by Fernandinho. He was all right. I don't think he did anything spectacular. Kept looking at him sometimes, kept taking a couple of knocks and stuff, and I thought, if anybody's going to go off the pitch today, Rodri looks like he was... I don't know. He just didn't look 100% to me at the weekend. But like I say, I'll probably give him a 6.5, and I think he was just outshone by Fernandinho. Full stop.
Okay, Jack.
I'll probably say the same. I'd say it's an average performance. He was outshone by Fernandinho, of course. So I'll probably say 6. Didn't do too much wrong. Didn't do anything spectacular either. So just an average performance, I think.
Wait, did Andy give Ferner an 8? Mate, he's one of my favourite all-time players. I've sunk him from the rafters on here. I'm the one that's been shouting and screaming for him. I want another year out of him. Rodders 7 says Ray. Yusuf says 7. Rodri 6 for me, says Michaels. John says 7.5, 6.5. Says SOS. Sam thinks it's a 6. Dudley thinks it's a 7. Rodders a 7, says Abdallah. Sam Bajowski says you wouldn't have known he spent 90 minutes trying to stop Neymar and Kylian Mbappe this week, as Rodri picked up where he left off in Paris with another solid showing at Selhurst Park and gave him a 6. Oh, God. But there's lots of 7.5s and things like that. So I'm going to have to go a 7 for Rodri. There you go. That's on your scores, not mine. I would have given him a 6, 6.5. So Rodri gets a 7 from you guys. That moves us on to the next one, which is somebody who has been massively out of form. I thought he played really well, but we'll see what everyone else thinks. So, Paul, Raheem Sterling.
Can he just put his foot through that ball when he gets the chance? That extra touch, that
confidence
extra touch,
in it.
Yeah, that extra touch every time. He keeps doing it every single game. Him, I don't think Jesus, Sterling, Torres works that three up front at all. I don't like that. But Sterling's playing well. You can see he's playing well and he's trying and stuff. But for God's sake, just put that
I think we've always said it though, haven't we, Paul? He's not a natural finisher. He isn't a natural. He's not a Sergio. And I know.
When you're in that box and you're that close to the goal, just hit it.
Well, you saw that one, that first one where he came, brilliant touch. He flipped it past the player. He went inside and he could see people merging, sort of diving. And when you're confident, you just think, I'm just going to leather it straight in the top corner. But he didn't. He tried to move the ball a little bit more, give him a bit more of an angle, bit more to see, and then overhit his touch. And that's what happens when you're out of form.
But he has played a few games now, so he's getting his. You can't say he's not getting a chance. I mean, I
don't think he's played that much. To be fair,
no, I mean he's played the last 3 or 4
sporadic.
Games and stuff like that. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's crap, but I just wish he just hit that.
Yeah, I agree.
That ball, especially when you get that close to goal.
Yeah,
it's not like I want him to take it from 20 yards and take a shot. I just want him to hit it from the 6 yard, and just stick in the back of that net. Because once he scores one, he's going to bang 4 or 5 in a game, and he's going to do it because he'll do it for England. He'll do it for City all day long.
And that's why I like Sterling. I think he brings the team with his pace. And I'm desperate for him to score because I agree with you. Yeah. When he hits one, everything will come back. You could see on Saturday, he was so desperate to score. I mean, that one with his foot that hit the post, and you think 9 times out of 10 that it's the inside of the post and goes into the net, or and you're thinking, it's just it's come out again, and it's these little very fine margins. But Jack,
sorry,
go on. Sorry, go on, Jack.
I do agree that he's a confidence player, so I think that people need to remember, if anyone else would have missed them chances or taken an extra touch, then they wouldn't have got a rollicking, would they? And we've got to remember that he's not played a lot recently, so it's hard to expect a lot from someone who's not part of running the team. And if I remember, this is probably the longest run he's not had a lot of in the team, because we know Pep likes him. He'll start in most games, and if Pep leaves him out, then there is something wrong. He is low on confidence, I think. So I'll probably say a 6.
Yeah. Ben Cole says the finishing is lacking, but the runs create problems for them. Yeah, it does, and that's what he brings. I mean, he tracks. I mean, I can't think of another player that would have got onto the end of that. The one that he hit it when it hit the post. I mean, he comes out and runs in, and with his pace, I mean, if he finishes, I said it last year, 31 goals last year. If he could finish, he would have had 45. That's the difference when you're banging form and banging confidence. You get 31 goals. When you're out of form, that 31 goals suddenly drips down to sort of 10, 12, 13. There's a massive difference between the two.
I suppose what's going to be disappointed about Sterling is, say we do get to the final, after the seasons he's given us over the past 2 or 3 years, that his name won't be one of the first on the team sheet.
Maybe. I
mean, that must be so disappointing for him, because he's been probably in our top 3 players for the past three seasons. And if we do get to the final and he's on that subs bench,
that's football for you, though, Paul, isn't it?
Oh, it is. But I mean, for him personally, it must be gutting that he's put so much in. But anyway.
Yeah, it is what it is. Still not finishing. Looks in out confidence 7. Dudley says 7. Addis gives him a just shoot 6. I think we've all said that. 6 and a 6. Right, we've got scores there. Sam Pajaska seemingly out of Pep Guardiola's big game first 11. This was a chance for Stone to impress. He got in good positions but couldn't make the big impact he might have hoped for, as he was unfortunate to hit the post and miss a few more good chances and gave him a 6. I'm going to go. I hate to do it, but I'm going to give him.
Oh, we've lost Andy.
Don't know what happened there. I hit my mouse there for some reason.
That must have hurt, Andy. That must have hurt. Hitting that 6 button. It was StreamYard was going, you can't give him a 6, Andy. You can't give him a 6. Yeah, go on. Sterling gets a 6. It is what it is. It's one of those things. Right, moving on to a young kid who, to be fair, for me, started off brilliantly. Wasn't impressed in the last few games that he's played, but I thought he was much better on Saturday. So Ferran Torres, Paul? Yeah, I think he's one for next season. I think this season was just a case of getting him in the squad, getting him in the team, getting him running the cup games and stuff like that, see how he went on. He did really well right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Then obviously got COVID and stuff like that. The mid-season didn't kind of go too well. Now he's getting back in the team and stuff. He played well. It was a good goal. I mean, he knew what he was doing. That was a really crafty little through the defence there and stuff like that. I think he's going to come good next season. I give him a 7.5. I don't think he was quite an 8 in that, but scored a good goal. Looks good, and I think he could be exciting next season. So yeah. Good player.
Jack.
I'd probably give him an 8. I think it was quite a good finish, and I like to see him get into the team. And like Paul said, then next season he will get into the team more. I said the same with Sané when he had his first season. You need the year to settle in. It's a new league. He's not played in the Prem before, so he has to get used to it, and then over time, because maybe he's only young, he will be playing like that more or less every week.
I agree. I think SOS 7.5 took his goal well. David Bosch gives him a 7. Man City 2, PSG 0. Secondly, we're doing play ratings, mate. Torres 7.5. Anyone know why Nathan Clark, he was crying after his goal? I don't know why. Maybe he was just really happy. I don't know. Not heard any reasons behind it, but it's great to see. Torres for Sarmajowski, guilty of trying too hard, slowing things down in the first half. I agree with that. Torres was often City's best outlet on the right. As he grew in confidence, his output improved and he fully deserved his well-taken goal for sheer effort throughout the game. I totally agree with that as well. And he gave him a 7, and I think that's what he's going to get. Torres gets a 7 because I agree. I don't think he was great in the first half. I think he was non-existent, but he grew into the game. And what brilliant! And the little back heel as well for Cancelo. Cancelo's shot, I thought, was exceptional awareness of his surroundings, and he took his goal brilliantly well. Absolutely fantastic. But he is a player that we're going to have to sort of give him some time. He's only a baby, and next season, who knows where he could go? And that leads us on to we're not going to do Zinchenko. We've done Zinchenko to death, but we have got one player that it's worthy of discussion about, and that is Sergio Aguero. So, Paul?
9 for me, man of the match. I thought he looked fit, he looked sharp, he was running to pick up the ball in midfield and around the box, having a go, passing, linking up play. That goal was just Sergio of old. Just when he scored that, I thought to myself, him and Fernandinho, I thought, if them two aren't in that squad next season, there's something wrong in football, that they can't play for this club for another season at least. I thought he was superb, Sergio. I thought that was just Sergio all over, wasn't it? That, just the way he took that ball, whipped into him, just took it, and then just the way he just got it out and just buried it. That's exactly what I wanted Sterling to do, but just hit it.
We're talking about techniques here. We're talking about somebody takes one touch and hits it on a half volley into the top. That's pure technique and pure instinct, of course. Pure striker's instinct.
Oh, I mean, because the game was kind of.
It was fading
this
out.
was going to be one of them Saturday dinner time games and stuff like that. But then when he scored that goal, it was just superb, just brilliant.
Jack?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd probably say a 9. I liked the finish. I thought he was hungry. He was always in the game. I thought that obviously it's nice to have a good send off, and just like we're still in before when you said that he might not be in that. Say if we were to get in the final, we're not there yet. But if he wasn't in that team sheet, I think it would be a bit weird if Sergio wasn't in there either, because he's always there in the big games, the big moments. He is your man. He'll always say with that Spurs game a couple of years ago, where obviously he got the 4th one, that he always scores in the big games and he's always there when it matters most. And I'd see him have a good send off. Probably get a couple more left in the last few league games.
I think he should play every game towards the end of the season now.
I think once the league's sorted, he should do. I agree.
Can he pick up the trophy at the end of the season? If there's one thing that happens, he needs to be picking up that Premiership trophy on his own up there. One thing.
Well, it could be Fernandinho. Yeah, it could be Fernandinho.
He had the League Cup.
Yeah, 7.5 Sergio, 8 for David Walsh. Simon Bajowski says, in a more unfamiliar number 10 role with Jesus more advanced, Aguero was given little time on the ball by Palace defender, but when the chance came, he was oh so clinical, gave him a 7. And you know what? I'm going to be really controversial here. I thought he was poor for large parts of the game. I thought he was poor. I really do. I thought his touch was poor. He didn't do a great deal. He didn't influence the game that much. And then sprung to life with a couple of moments that were close, and he had the shot at the near post and Scott. I mean, don't get me wrong, absolutely amazing finish, absolutely incredible finish. But I'm sorry, I did not do enough for me. And we've got. Let me just get rid of this bell end because he's just spamming. For me, just didn't do enough. Hence why I said I posted on the live chat as it was going along. I mean, my thoughts on the game were, I said, it's just a shame to see Sergio going out like this. It's like he's just going through the motions, and it looked like he couldn't be asked. But for most of the game prior to that little bit of genius and then the goal, I thought, and then after that, he was running around a bit. I would have given him a 6. Or I would probably have given him a 5.5 and maybe another point for the goal. I'd give him 2 points because the goal was so special. It was incredible goal. But for me, I don't know. I didn't think he had a particularly brilliant game apart from 1 or 2 moments. Obviously, his goal was exceptional and he's a legend and we all love him to bits. But I'm not going to become emotional about it. I'll critique him on the game. But hey, Sam Bajowski gave him a 7, and I'd personally agree with that, but everyone's going for 8s and 9s and 10s, so I don't know, I have to go with them. Aguero, 9, go on then. We'll be emotional and give him a 9. I don't know. I've got to go with the fans, not my opinion, but Charlie says nothing special from Sergio was lost in the game, mostly again. Just the finish was great at 7.5. I agree with that. But Aguero 9 for me, great goal and very good all round in the game. Charlie says exactly, and the agree, mate. Kurt beating Chris to the chainsaw. What's going on? I don't know. This time tomorrow night, we should know if we're off to Istanbul. We should. That's a top striker for you. Nothing, then everything. 8. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. Blue art, absolutely. I said that to my lads when we were watching it. I said, I've been going. Wish he was doing a bit more, but when you've got such amazing talent, and that's what he does. Just comes alive in the box, and that's something I think we've missed massively. You know, you can imagine any other, a Gabby or a Torres or a Sterling, receiving that ball, the outcome, I guarantee you wouldn't have been a goal like that. It just wouldn't, because that is a top class, world class striker, and that's what they bring. But that's Sergio, I guess. Sometimes doesn't do a great deal in the games, but maybe tomorrow night we might need something like that. We might need something if it's a little bit tight. And Addy says, Andy, it was the stakes moment and occasion. I don't know what that. 9, far too high, but whatever. I have to give a 9 because that's what people have given on here. It's not my ratings. But anyway, I'm not going to mark Zinchenko. I thought Zinchenko, we've spoke about Zinchenko to death. But it was a great win. Right, quickly, we're going to spend, nearly going over an hour, but we're going to spend. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Gabby, didn't I?
Anyway, 5 from me. Poor.
Did he play?
Yeah.
Sorry, I did. My fault. I was skipping ahead. I wanted to save Sergio till last. That was it, and I missed Gabby. So I do apologise, Gabriel Jesus. Sorry, Paul, Gabby, go ahead.
Quickly, 5. Didn't think he was in the game at all. Thought that finished well, but apart from that, 5. Didn't really see much of him all game. That's it.
Jack?
I have to agree. I forgot he was even playing because he very rarely touched the ball. He was non-existent. I have to say a 4.5.
Yeah, I must admit, I forgot he was playing. That's why I don't even remember he's playing. I wanted to put Sergio last, like we normally do with somebody who's at the. Certainly a moment of magic, but that goes to show you, I think, everything. Zinny was a 10. No need to talk. We all know, yeah, Kurt. We know you love Zinny. Kurt says 5.5 for Gabby. SOS 6. Gabriel 7. Great finish. Shame it was offside, but that's the problem, Neil. He's always bloody offside. Gabby 4.5. QPR game wasn't his best until his brilliant moment changing the match. Yeah, I agree with that, Blue Hat. Talking about Sergio there. Gabby 5. Dudley 5.5. Gabby needs to step up. Offside 2 minute times 4.5. Old City, we love you. There you go. Next, Ryan 5. Charlie says if Gabby scored, maybe he would have scored like a 9. Aguero did. Only joking. A 7. I don't even know now. I've got rid of the Sam Wachowski's comments, but I'm sure he'd probably give him a 5 as well. He was born offside. Yeah, he probably was. Right. Okay, Gabby. I can't give him a 5. Sorry, I can't. I just can't. I'll give him a 6. I'm going to just an average 6. Didn't do anything massively wrong. Didn't do anything great to affect the game. I'm going to be really kind to Gabby there. I didn't think he had a great game and took his goal well. But he's always bloody offside. That's his problem. Right, moving on to very quickly. We're going to spend 10 minutes, no more on this, because it's been done. I've been done to death all over social media for the last 24 hours on the United protest. But Paul, over to you. What are your thoughts on yesterday's images from Old Trafford?
Shocking. You know, I think it was just a shame that we didn't get that game. We prepared ourselves for that all weekend, that we're going to see, you know, title decider and stuff. I think the fans are right to protest if they want to protest. That's fair enough.
Absolutely.
But, I mean,
absolutely.
There's overstepping the mark, and which they did. They've overstepped the mark. They've got the game called off. It's probably what they wanted all along. But you know, they're on about their owners and stuff like that. They weren't happy 15 years ago whenever they had protests. Like I've said to people today, you know, some fans walked away back then. You know, they took their money, their support, walked away from the club, set up FC United or whoever they did. They went on to support them, and they stuck by what their beliefs were, was to not support the owners, and they did what they thought was right. So, but these fans who are, you know, slashing police officers and wrecking the ground and stuff, they'll be renewing their season ticket. They'll be going and buying the shirt next month or whatever.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think half of those people who were there causing the trouble probably even have season tickets.
Well, they'll probably come up from Surrey for the day, or you know. But the thing is, what they need to remember is that they have had success with these owners. You know, the day Fergie left, they must have known that it wouldn't be the same and stuff. But if they want rid of these owners, they're going to need new owners. So they're going to need someone who's going to stump up at least £3 million, rebuild Old Trafford.
3 million or nearly 4 billion.
Sorry, 3 billion. I was thinking.
Yeah.
You know, and then the Glazers have got to write off their debt and stuff, and then. Like Gary Neville says, they need a new training ground. They need to rebuild Old Trafford. So somebody's got to go into that club with £5 billion. So
easily,
if the fans can put together £5 billion and buy the club out, then go and buy it. Simple as that.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, what can they do?
I mean, I've been all over Twitter for the last 24 hours, back and forth with City fans and United fans and all sorts of fans alike. Anyway, but I want a protest. And my say, and I've said it all over Twitter. I've posted it numerous times today, and I said everybody has a right to protest, but not everyone has a right to riot. And that's what that was yesterday. It wasn't a protest. It was a protest outside the ground until it became a riot. And they were saying, but fans, stewards let us into the ground. And I posted something on Twitter earlier. Well, allegedly a steward letting him into the ground, but we've seen the kicking in the glass doors. We've seen the guy who was such an embarrassment. I think he was the same guy who actually threw the micro stand, the camera stand, all of about 3 yards. He tried to kick the glass door in about 3 times and couldn't do it, and then some little small kid came in and smashed it on the first touch. And it's like, don't give me that. They were let into the ground. If you're a peaceful protester, why would you go into the ground? At the end of the day, if you're a peaceful protester, and the kicking in of the glass doors and everything else. I mean, you saw what happened to the police officers, and then they come in. Oh, the police were heavy-handed, and you saw the images of bottles and glasses and all sorts being thrown at the police officers. If you're a peaceful protester and the police are saying to you in a line, "Move away," you move away. If you start going, if you've got masks on, can't see your face, and you've got bottles in your hand, and you've got this, that, and the other, 5 yards away going, "You pigs, you this, that, and the other," are you a peaceful protester? No, you're not. You're simply not. You walk away.
The thing is, they know the Glazers have been taking hundreds of millions of pounds out of the club for years and years and years. So why have the protests suddenly started again? I know with all that Super League stuff and that, but surely this should be happening every weekend at Old Trafford because it's been going on for years. So now suddenly it's a bigger issue. When actually Man United have actually had a decent season. The second, they're in the Europa League final, and the likelihood is they'll pick up that trophy. So no, the European trophy, and I honestly think with a couple of players, they could proper challenge us next season for the title, more so than Liverpool would challenge us next season, because they've got a younger team. If Solskjaer signs a couple of players, and the managers have been backed by the owners. They've signed Pogba, they've signed Lukaku, they've signed Sanchez, they've signed players and stuff like that. So
Di Maria.
The club is producing so much money that the money the owners are taking out, they're taking a big amount of money, but it's still leaving a lot of money. They're signing £700 million kit deals and sponsorship deals with Chevrolet and bloody somebody sponsoring the training kit and stuff. It's a money pit. So what the Glazers are taking out is a small percentage of the bigger picture, and they're still giving money to these managers. And I just can't see what the protests are going to get unless someone amongst that crowd of idiots knows someone with £5 billion in the bank that can come along and buy it.
Yeah, well,
they're going to be they're going to be like this for years.
Blowout says it's all about them not winning stuff anymore, so fans can't take that. Protests, okay, violence to those trying to protect them and the club and property damage, absolutely disgusting display, in my opinion. I mean, the thing is I'm still, I mean, I heard the head of the Man United supporters club this morning on TalkSport, and he was talking, and he got absolutely wrapped up in left, right, and centre by Simon Jordan because He kept stumbling over his words. Every question that Simon Jordan went back to him about, well, no, but what about this? It was just, so do you condone that? Do you, well, you know, and it was just embarrassing. It was embarrassing. And for me, I'm all for the right to protest. Do it in the right way. Absolutely. If there's a protest over, go and protest. Don't kick down glass doors. Don't bottle police officers. Don't slash police officers across the face. Don't. I'm sorry, but I don't buy into but it's the minority. Well, I tell you what, there must have been 500 to 1,000 people on that pitch. They weren't in the minority. That's a tenth of the alleged 10,000 that were there. They shouldn't have been on the pitch. They shouldn't have been. You saw all the stupid, fucking childish kids with nicking corner flags, smoking weed and everything else, thinking, you know, it's like, I posted on Twitter yesterday going, oh, show and tell will be good at school tomorrow, won't it? You know, it's just embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing, because they're not proper fans. They're not season ticket holders. They're just a load of hangers-on who've gone and joined a mob, basically. And I feel sorry for the proper United fans who want to go and do a genuine protest there against the owners. But I'm still yet to hear any United fan. I've heard Hudson do his usual T-Rex rant and rave on social media. I still don't know what is it you're protesting against, because I've heard the supporters club going on about the disgusting ESL proposal. Well, hold on a minute. I didn't see any ESL banners there yesterday. It was everything was Glazers out, Glazers out. There was nothing about the European Super League. Nothing whatsoever. It was just another opportunity now on the back of the ESL proposal for me to try and force change. And then you've got this, and somebody else rang up going on about this 50+1 thing, thinking, what, like that is ever going to happen in the Premier League? That is long gone. There is no way the government can force a business now to go, I'll hand over 50+1 of your, you know, Sheikh Mansour, you know, all that 5 billion. 3 billion, 2 billion you put into Manchester City. We want you to give away 51% of that to fans having a voice. Ain't going to happen. Nobody's going to come up with 2.5, 3 billion to buy United and have a 51% stake. Nobody. So the 50+1 thing, from a business and legality point of view, is never going to happen in the Premier League, ever. That's gone. Forget Bundesliga. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. It'll never, ever happen. Ever. But so then your next question is like, well, what is it they're protesting against? Because, like you said, Paul, the second in the league, more than likely in the Europa League final, and you know, where were all the protests? And they were saying, where were all the protests when they were winning sort of back-to-back Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and things? There's, there were protests. Oh, really? Well, they weren't that great, were they? Because nothing happened back then. Sir Alex Ferguson backed the Glazers. Gary Neville backed the Glazers. Now, all of a sudden, Gary Neville seems to be the mouthpiece for Manchester United, inciting violence and condoning it, along with Jamie Carragher. These are ones who promoted the whole Sky package, get paid off Sky, but promoted the whole when United were making tons of money out of Sky. Now, all of a sudden, because United have been crap for the last God knows how many years, it's now, let's protest against it. He owns his own club, Gary Neville. The hypocrisy is unbelievable. If anything, Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher should be sacked by Sky Sports. They should be sacked for what they've condoned over the last 24 hours of what happened yesterday. And I feel sorry for the United fans, the good, genuine, old-school United fans who went there to genuinely protest against crap owners. But what is it they're protesting against? Because for me, they spent more money in the last 10 years than Manchester City have. 100 million more than City have on players. Can't say they don't spend money. If they complain about taking the money out of the club, but they still spend the money. Money's not, is money available? Money's always available for Manchester United because they generate huge amounts of revenue. So what is it? They slag off City. They slag off City for investing in players and investing money into the club. But now that's what they want. They want investment into the club. Hold on a minute. It's just, I don't understand what the protest is about. If somebody can say, this is exactly, and Simon Jordan today on TalkSport asked the supporters club chairman or whoever he is, president, exactly what is it that you want? If you've got this meeting with the Premier League, what is it you want? He couldn't even answer it. I don't even think he knows exactly what it is that they want. It's just like this. It's another chance to get the Glazers out. Well, the Glazers are probably sat in Tampa laughing their bollocks off because they're not going to sell. They don't care. They don't give two hoots about a protest. It's not going to affect them whatsoever because they're never there. They don't care. It's madness. I understand the protest. I do get it. But violence is not the answer. And you know, and apparently the rumours are there's going to be a bigger one coming up this week. And you think, that's not good for football. It isn't. It's not the right way to go about it.
And the Liverpool fans thinking they're going to be doing the same with their next home game.
Well,
you know, they've got big issues with their owners as well.
I mean, what made me laugh was the statement of Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville and Sky Sports coming out saying the police called it off, and this is why I had a bit of a debate on Twitter with a lady called Helen, and it wasn't meant to be. Anyway, I was just asking a question, what's the alternative? Because I said, deduct them 3 points, they'll soon stop doing it. And the fact is that they can deduct them 3 points, but they can't now because the police were the ones who advised of calling it off because of the safety of the coach. I don't remember the police, Merseyside police, giving City the option or Liverpool the option, which both Liverpool and United apparently agreed, the safety of the Liverpool coach going to the ground and blah, 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 the United coach. Don't remember us getting the option twice going to Anfield when crowds were clearly all lining the streets with bottles and flares and everything else. Didn't happen to us.
City then at that point, when that happened to that coach just spun around and went back.
And then we would have been deducted 3 points because we didn't turn up for the game. Liverpool would have got 3 points because the police didn't call it off and Liverpool didn't agree to it. But apparently this time, Liverpool, United and the police agreed it wasn't safe for the coach to go to Old Trafford. There you go. It's madness, Jack.
Yeah, I think really the fact that they're protesting, that they're second in the league and they're in the final, they really think they're in a bad situation. There's a lot of clubs, especially in the COVID situation, that are in a lot worse positions. Look at Bolton and Bury with their owners even before COVID, and yet they're moaning about being second and in the Europa League final. They're just entitled for me. I don't think they have any right to complain with what they're getting whatsoever. They're not in a bad position. They're still, if anything, could challenge us for the league next season, yet they're still moaning because they think they have a right to challenge for the league every year, win trophies. No, they don't. That's not how football works. I think they're arrogant and I think they have no right whatsoever to complain. And especially with assaulting police officers and saying that they're being brutal. Well, if you were against 200 people who were nicking corner flags, smashing doors, you're not telling me that you would not fight back.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that, I mean, you only saw the video. You only have to look on social media. I mean, somebody's filming it and they're going, get back, and they've got batons in there. Of course they have, because they're getting bricks and bottles. I mean, there's one's hitting police officers on the chest and whatever else. And we know that happens. It's not an isolated incident. It happens at all sort of protests and things like that when the police get involved. And if the police may have been heavy-handed, they may have been. But, I mean, you've got people there shouting and screaming, you pigs, you this, that, and the other. That's supposed to be a peaceful protest. That's supposed to be, well, just go away. If the police are asking you to go away, if it's a peaceful process, walk away. Just walk away. You're supposed to be representing your club as a fan. So it clearly shows you they're neither not fans, they're not season ticket holders, they have no interest in United. They're just there simply. I mean, look at all the beer cans and everything else, smoking weed and everything that's going on. And half of those are kids. They're not, balaclavas on and everything else. They're not real United fans. They're not season ticket holders. They don't represent the club whatsoever. And the problem being is that it just does them no favours. Does them no favours. And I do agree with I can't remember his name now, the United supporters chairman, whatever he is. He turned around and said, yes, we've heard these rumours of an even bigger protest. I just don't understand why that needs to happen now because we're in dialogue. It's over the media. Let us now start discussing with the Premier League about why it happened in the first place. Let's move forward with this. We don't need another protest. We don't need this. But it'll happen because it'll be organised by a right bunch of bellends that they're just anarchists. They just want trouble. They want social media on the phones, recording themselves, show the mates at school and all that type of shit. It's pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic.
The thing is, Man United knew this protest was going to happen. They knew there was going to be problems. And they just stick a load of weekend security guards on.
Yeah. And it's not their fault. Even
Oh, no. I mean, what are they going to do? They're just there, just keeping an eye on things over the weekend. The police aren't going to be policing the stadium like they would normally. No. But United as a club knew that there was going to be problems, there was going to be issues, and the fact they failed to control that or to do anything about it means that a game's been called off through their own fault. So, the fans and the club, then I don't know. You deduct them 3 points. Is that the way, or do you just hit them in the pocket?
I don't. Well, the thing is, I don't think because it's called off by the police. What
if Liverpool turn around now and said, bearing in mind the fixture list has all been done now to the end of the season? What if Liverpool, because we're on about playing it after the FA Cup, so that's the end of the season done. The FA Cup's going to be played, and then they're going to play that game. So what happens? Say City had this amazing capitulated the season, and it was down to that last game of the season after the season ended, and Man United were playing Liverpool, and if Man United win the game, they win the title, and Liverpool just roll over and think, well, we'll not give it to City. Let's let United. Just they should have been made to play the game today at 12 o'clock. The team should have been kept there.
Yeah.
And they should have just played the game. It's a bank holiday. Sky could have rearranged it. People aren't at work, so it's not going to affect anything. It's not affecting travelling football fans. It's not travelling. Man United should have been played. The thing is, Man United now get a week off between their Europa League games, which is unfair on Roma. Liverpool, I bet they're not complaining about an extra few days off before their next game either. They moaned at us for having a game cancelled, which wasn't our fault. They've had this one cancelled. So whoever Liverpool are playing in their next game, Liverpool are as fresh as a daisy against a team who've probably just played another game. Yeah. So they should have played the game today at 12 o'clock and be done with it.
It's ironic how all the Liverpool United fans what it does to be deducted 3 points for calling off the game because of COVID versus Everton. Where are they? Where are all those? Go on, mate.
Listen,
I also think the fact that they're starting to damage the stadium, that's not going to help remove the owners. That's just damaging the facilities that they will be in next season, ripping toilets out, smashing doors. That does not send a message, except that you're a bunch of hooligans. Really.
Yeah.
It makes the minority of idiots is making the whole fan base.
Yeah, and it's a shame. It's a shame because there were a lot of people there that wanted to, who've been following United, investing a lot of time and money and effort into United, like City fans have done in the past. But the fact, if they would have been done outside, fine, and you might have had a bit of trouble outside, fine. The fact they're smashing down doors and ripping up this and throwing stuff around, and flares going into, Jamie Carragher and Graham Souness and all that time, beer cans being thrown. I mean, sorry, that's not a minority because there were hundreds on the pitch and they were all cheering and laughing when that happened at the same time. So, I mean, for me, I've got no sympathy for them, and I just feel, well, not for those, but I do feel sympathy for the proper United fans who were there to make a proper protest, a peaceful protest. But it turned out that way.
Watching United's world come crumbling around them does have its sweet.
It does.
How the mighty have fallen.
It does. We've been there,
Exactly.
I still would like one United fan to give me an absolute golden fact of what the protest was about, what they were protesting about, because I still can't work out. I've heard 100 different reasons, and not one of them is unified, aligned with one objective as to what the protest was. I don't get it. I just simply don't get it. But anyway, we'll move on. That's United. they're garbage. Let them get crack on with it. And we'll concentrate on the PSG game. Well, obviously, tomorrow night, we're going to play PSG in the semi-final, second leg at the Etihad. We'll see what happens tomorrow night outside the Etihad. It's going to be interesting, and I just hope it's not ruined, because don't be surprised if something happens outside the Etihad tomorrow night. Trust me. Won't put anything past some of these idiots. But let's hope it goes off without any problems. Obviously, today we saw Neymar did travel. He was doing his exaggerated limp, walking into the airport, and then probably jogged up the steps of the aircraft and took his seat. I don't think there'll be any problems with Neymar playing tomorrow, in my opinion, but we'll wait and see. But it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game tomorrow. What I'm going to ask you guys is give us your lineups for tomorrow. So overall, 2-1 lead, Paul. Just a quick overview. What do you think? How can you see the game going tomorrow?
I think the team picks itself, doesn't it? The team's easy enough. I think it's Ederson, Walker, Stones, Diaz.
Hold on. I always write these down. I'm running.
So you got Ederson.
Hold on. Let me just go over. Paul is going for.
So Ederson.
Yeah.
Walker.
Okay.
Stones.
Yeah.
Diaz.
Yeah.
Just leave a little blank for a moment.
Okay.
Then in midfield you got Rodri.
Yeah.
De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Silva. Foden. Ilkay.
We're going for a 4-3-3. So Rodri KDB, Gundogan.
Foden. Silva. Mahrez. There isn't no formation for my
team. Yeah. That's fine.
They'll do what they want anyway.
Okay, because Foden and Silva can.
Yeah, and then at the back, that last spot, will it be Zinchenko? Will it be Cancelo? I think he's going to go with Zinchenko because I just think he looks better because he can pass better at the back. He's more confident at the back, passing and passing from the back forward and stuff. I think Cancelo, that yellow card and stuff, he'll miss the final, won't he? If he gets another one.
Yeah, possibly.
So I don't think. I think it carries over, doesn't it, to the final?
Yeah,
might be wrong, but I think he'll play Zinchenko. So I think, like the first game, I think De Bruyne will sit further back. I think in the first game, in that first half, he was way too far forward. He was on his own. He needs to be in the game. He needs to be sat back further, picking up the ball and dictating the game and passing it forward to Mahrez and Silva and Foden and stuff. So I hope he doesn't play KDB up further too far forward, bring him back into that midfield and stuff. Let Rodri, shore up the defence and stuff like that. But I think that team he's rested them all at the weekend. Why would he go with anything different to who was on the bench at the weekend? I think Mbappe will play 100%. I can't see him not playing. Although I did think when we played him in the first leg, he didn't look right. And I thought at the end he looked absolutely knackered. I thought he didn't. I don't think he's fit, but I think he'll play 100%.
Okay. Before I go to you, Jack, sorry, I did forget tonight. I did do a poll this morning on the man of the match for the Palace game, and I gave Sergio, Torres, Rodri, Sterling, and another. Who do you think it was? Well, Sergio got 76% of the vote, Torres 12%, Rodri 5%, Sterling 4%, and then another 4%. And some of them said Mendy for me. Torres was definitely man of the match. We had Mendy deserves a shout, Ben Mendy, and then Fernandinho as the man of the match. But maybe it's my fault. Maybe I should have put Ferner in there. But Sergio got 76% of the vote, by the way. Jack, thoughts on tomorrow night?
Well, the lineup, I'm going to go with Scott Carson. No, I'm only joking. Ederson, I think will start. Probably Walker, Zinchenko, because Cancelo played in the weekend, and Mendy.
Yeah.
Stones and Diaz, I hope. Rodri, Gundogan.
I'm trying to write as quick as you're talking. Go on then. Gundogan. Yeah.
De Bruyne, I think.
Yeah.
The front three is a difficult one. I'd probably have to say Foden, Mahrez, and Jesus, although I hope it's Sterling.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Ooh. So you're going Gabby, and you're going no Bernardo Silva.
That's a shame. I like Bernardo.
I know. Well,
I think will happen.
Here's mine for what it's worth. I never pick a correct team anyway, so it makes no difference. But I'm very much exactly the same with you guys, apart from one. Apart from one for you, Jack. I've gone Eddie, Walker at right back, Stones and Diaz and Zinchenko at left back, Rodri holding, Bernardo and Gundogan ahead of him, Mahrez on the right, Foden on the left, and KDB as a false nine.
Same as me.
I've gone with a rotational. They'll rotate in that false nine position for me. But I'll put KDB as the false nine, but Bernardo and Foden can rotate with them. It's going to be interesting. Right, I'm going to ask you for a score prediction. Paul?
I'm not sure about the score. I don't know, but I don't care if it comes off someone's bum, off someone's back, off someone. I don't care how it goes in, as long as I want us to win at least 1-0 and get the victory over the 2 legs where we've won both games. So I'll take a 1-0 off Foden's shin.
A 1-0. A 1-0. Sam Zagon says KDB false 9. Chris Baker. Bernardo will 100% play tomorrow. Of course he will, Chris, because he's your favourite player. You'd pick him even if he was out for. I'm joking. Don't get naughty.
He's got to play. He's got so much energy. He's got to play.
Yeah, I think he'll play tomorrow. Really, nothing hope happen tomorrow, but can't jinx it. Thanks, Chris. I sometimes do talk rubbish, though. Bernardo always up to be in midfield for games like this. 2-1 City, says Charlie. There you go. Anybody else? 2-1 for Mingy Wong. Jay Fever thinks Ederson, he's going to play against PSG tomorrow all on his own. Probably could. Jack, well, give us your score, mate.
Whenever I say 1-1, we win the game, so 1-1.
That'd be so nervous, wouldn't it? That'd be right, because you're going, we're going to go to extra time. If they get a nickel winner, they're going to nickel winner. It goes to extra. Oh, I hope not. I really hope not. I must admit, I'm still not nervous for tomorrow. I might be tomorrow night, but I haven't been nervous about City all season, if I'm being honest. I've really not been nervous about us whatsoever. I said back in November, December on this channel, I said, don't worry, everyone's panicking, don't worry. I said a treble this season, but I didn't say the Champions League. I said domestic treble again, I think. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I said not the Champions League. I'm sure I said the FA Cup, League Cup and Premier League. I think I did. I can't remember. But we're still in with the treble, and I'm not worried about tomorrow. And Pep looked very confident in his press conference today. He said, "Listen, I'm confident with the players. It is, but you're going for 1-1. What do I go for?"
6-0 rout.
I'm going to go 3-1 City. I think we go. I think we go through comfortably tomorrow. I'm with Pep. I'm confident about tomorrow. I think they lost the plot, and I think we'll pass them off the pitch tomorrow. I think might not be the first half, might not be great. I think it'll be proper. Keep the ball, move it around, work them around, tire them out, get them frustrated. They'll dive into tackles. They will dive into tackles. They'll get frustrated. Just keep passing it around. It might be the second half where we open them up, and if we score the first, I can see us scoring a couple more easily. If we don't score the first and they score the first, maybe we might be a bit edgy. We might just keep the ball in the hope of a 1-1 or something like you said, Jack. But I think if we score first, I think we could score another few because they'll have to come out and they'll just be all over the place if we pass them to them.
It was interesting. Jason Cundy was on the Talk Sport after the game last week, and he's right. It's like most games City playing. The team is so fit that these teams that we play against, and it was like that against PSG. That's what I say about Mbappe. Mbappe absolutely knackered at the end of it. City's fitness for 90 minutes is incredible.
I agree.
These teams for 45 minutes, they give us a game. Or Palace, they were in the game kind of until half time. Then come the second half, they've been so busy running round after us. They get to the last 25 minutes, and it's game over for them. They're just like, they can't just keep that momentum going all the time. Whereas City just relentless. I mean, you got to think. I think we only made one substitution at the weekend, and I think we only made one substitute in the PSG game as well when Cancelo came off Zinchenko as well. So these players are playing. He's not making many subs. He's playing these lads for 90 minutes.
And this is why I think City have been so good this season. Is that obviously in the COVID times and everything else and extra games and playing every 3 days and things, Pep has rotated. And again, going back to spending of United and all of these, we haven't spent as much. Well, they have, but you've got to bear in mind we've got a squad of 24 players. Most teams have a squad of 29, 30. We have 24 brilliant players. We've invested.
That's the difference.
We've invested in brilliant players, and they are. And Pep's keeping them happy. He's keeping them rotating, and they're all great players. We're not bringing in out of that. If you had a squad of 30, bringing in 6 shit players and going, well, we have to give him a game, and he's not that great, and he's not that. We have got an exceptional squad of 24 players, and I think Pep has managed the team well. I think the players have bought into the fact of rotational football under Pep Guardiola. And he said, look, guys, you are going to rotate. I don't care how great you are. There'll be times, even if you're like Kevin De Bruyne, even if you're at the top of your game, I need you to rest because we are going to go through the season. We're not a Liverpool. We don't just go for 1 trophy per season. We are going for all 4. We're going for all 4 trophies. So we need all of you to be buying into the projects. And I think they all do buy into it. And I think it was tonight. I came home tonight and Adrian Durham was saying, they were talking about Sergio Aguero. And they were talking about how great his goal was, but how much of a brilliant player he was. And they said, you don't have to look at the Carabao Cup final. The first player that ran over when we scored the goal was Sergio Aguero. Now, he could quite easily, City's top striker, be a bit pissed off with the fact that he's not hardly played and he's not playing in the cup final. And that he was the first player running over trying to celebrate and things like that. And he said, that's the way Pep's got them. He's got them as a unit that they all buy into the project. They're not going to play week in, week out. He wants rotational football. If you want trophies, you buy into my project and you'll get trophies. That means we have to rotate the team. We can't play the same team week in, week out. You saw what happened to Liverpool. You saw what happened to Liverpool last season. This season, they died off. They've got injuries. They're just knackered. And that's what we do to teams. Keep the ball and run them into the ground. So they're so knackered by the second half. That's when we can then go. I think it might not be the greatest football we've seen from City over the previous years. We've seen as well, we've gone 3-0 up in 20 minutes. And Pep knows that in this time at the moment, we need a different way if we want to be successful. And I think he's got it spot on so far. But all right, the Chelsea game was it wasn't the greatest for the FA Cup semi-final. But, in the Champions League, we're unbeaten. And I think he's got it spot on.
It's interesting. The fans were moaning about, it's not fair. Look at City's bench at the weekend, seven players, and it's like, whose fault? It's not our fault. It's not our fault. Pep's fault. These players that he can actually field 2 teams that are all brilliant. It's not. I remember. I mean, this is going way back. back to the heyday of Liverpool back in the 80s. I don't know if you remember, Andy.
Yeah, of course. Great team.
Yeah, I remember. It's probably the greatest team I will put my hand up. It's the greatest team I've ever seen, apart from
Dalglish, Souness, Hansen, Lawrence.
There was a time they went out and they bought John Barnes, Peter Beardsley, Ray Houghton, John Aldridge, the best players in the country at that moment. And they came down here to Nottingham and played Forest. Forest were a decent team back then, and Cloughy was still in charge. And on the bench that day, they had Ray Houghton, Peter Beardsley, John Barnes, and Aldridge was on the bench. 4 of the best players in the league. And they hammered a decent Forest team 4-0. And I always remember looking across at that bench and thinking, wow. And back then, nobody ever questioned, this is unfair. This is unfair. Liverpool, look at that. City do it. And it's like, that's not fair. There should be some rule. There should be some rule to say you're not allowed.
Your bench can only cost this much. I mean, they said that at the BT, was it, or Sky? It was 500 million pound bench. The bench costs 230 million quid, but they quote 500 million pound bench. That bench costs 230 million quid. And it's like, well, that's a Pogba, that's a Maguire, and that's a Wan-Bissaka on your bench. That's how much it costs United.
Yeah, exactly.
But look at the difference in quality that we've got. They're like 50 million pound players that are superb, not 85 million players that are average, or 55 million players that are not so great. They're all very, very good players. So anyone who, it's garbage. It's just an opposition fan thing. Jack?
Yeah, I think the reason people moan about us spending money is that the fact that we spend our money wisely. And when some of these other clubs, like United, spend money on Maguire, and they don't spend £50 million, they spend about 80, 90 million. They're just bad buys. And I think they're just a bit bitter that we have better recruitment at our club. So they just decide to throw this stupid myth that we're a money club.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Jack, it's probably the only thing they've got, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's the only thing they've got. If we were unsuccessful and we were spending that type of money, you'd go, what a waste of money, But there's nothing else they can argue with, because we've been so successful over the last 10 years. We are the most successful team in the Premier League in the last 10 years, by far. And yet the only thing, it's money. Well, it's money, but that's been proven. United in the last 10 years has spent 100 million more than City. What have they won? Liverpool has spent, I think Liverpool's net spend was about 100 million less than us. And they've won a Premier League and a Champions League. And look at all the trophies we've won. And then I say, well, we've won 2 of the biggest. Well, yeah, fine. But we've won 3 out of the last 4 biggest ones, the Premier League. So 3 out of the last 4, not 1, and a Champions League. So, I mean, it's a nonsensical argument. It just doesn't. The fact is, we're a well-run club. We've bought well, and people don't like it. They just simply do not like it, and all they'll throw is the arguments of money. It's nonsense, absolute nonsense.
The big thing is that Liverpool, at some point, are going to have to spend big.
It's going to have to. Well, I mean, they've spent big on some players, but they're going to have to spend bigger. They're going to have to spend bigger.
But at some point, I mean, Firmino has been rubbish for 3 years. I mean, he's poor. I mean, as a number 9, he's a poor, these no-look goals he does every now and again, and everyone goes, he's the greatest since, Ronaldo for Brazil and stuff like this, is rubbish. Mane's been off the boil. Salah, are they going to have to cash in on him while he's still on top form? They're all hit 30. They're going to have to spend decent. Henderson's no spring chicken.
Yeah. I mean, Chris says this, so I'll look there. PSG will win 5-0, then City will be docked 20 points for City fans dressing up as rags and smashing up Old Trafford on Gary Neville say. So, yes, I'm sure. I've not had a message from him. Or have I? Maybe I haven't. That's a surprise. But no, you're spot on. Absolutely spot on, Paul. They're going to have to spend massive. If you think Salah, I do think Salah might stay. But Marley's been out of massive form. Firmino for me is I thought he was okay. Never really rated Firmino. He was a good link-up player, but nothing more than that. If you want a front three, don't be surprised if they're going all in for the likes of Haaland or even trying to entice Harry Kane to go there. And there's rumours of Mbappe and all that type of nonsense. But they're going to have to spend huge amounts of money. And if they're not in the Champions League places, that makes it really difficult. Harry Kane is not going to go to Liverpool, regardless of how much you pay him, if he's not in the Champions League.
Exactly.
No, because he'll look at it going, well, are you going to really win the Premier League next season? All right, maybe you're in with a shout, but what is it? I'm just the same. What have you won FA Cup wise or League Cup wise lately? Nothing, because you just rest players. Well, you're not in the Champions League, so we're all in for one competition, are we? Against City. Where if they were in the Champions League, he'll be going, well, there's a Champions League on offer and there's the Premier League, and I can probably discount the FA Cup and League Cup for that. They're going to have to spend massive amounts of money and wages to bring somebody in if they're not in the Champions League. Massive. Erling Haaland in the Champions League this year, is he going to go? Well, you don't really play. You play sort of average team in a league, domestic cup competitions. Are you going to really beat City next season? Are you not in the Champions League? Would I go there? No way. It's absolutely, unless you offered me like 600 grand a week to forfeit the Champions League or something. There's no way he'd go there. No, so they're going to have to spend very wisely.
There's these 2 extra places in the Champions League, this new format. Does it come in next year?
2024.
So Liverpool can't somehow miraculously get in because they've won it 6 times over the past 4 years.
No. That I think that's. I think that's going to come in the reform year, which is 2024. I might be wrong. If somebody can correct me. Somebody might correct me. I might be wrong. But that legacy thing.
So Liverpool are in meltdown next season then.
If they don't get into the Champions League. Finally, Jack, quick overview of tomorrow. Thoughts? How are you going to feel tomorrow night? I'll bring up some of the comments while you're on.
Well, regardless of the result, we just got to remember that from where we've come from, we're in a great position, and we just have to remember these nights don't come around too often. So whether we go through or not, let's just enjoy the night. Just regardless of the result, it could be a good night, it might not be. Just let's take advantage of it. It's not often you get to such a prestigious competition at the semi-final, so we just have to enjoy the fact that we're here. And if we go to the final, then that's good. If we don't, then it is what it is. But we just have to remember that this is the closest we've ever got.
We'd like to be there, though, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I want to win it.
Absolutely. I want to win it now. It's still not my top of my list, the Premier League all day long. No. But now we're where we are. I still want to win it. Absolutely. And you know what I want? I want us to win it, and then I want to go to the Carabao Club Biscuit competition, and I want us to win that as well. And then we can go. We can. And we won the ladies, and we won the EDS, and we won. 7 we won this season. I still want us to win it. Of course I do. It's a cup competition, and want to win every. I don't care what cup competition it is, but I just want us to win the league first and foremost. And for me, Champions League would be an extra bonus. Paul, finally.
Yeah, I want to win it after being outside Wembley last year, and the Villa fans were giving us so much grief about their European Cup and stuff, and the amount of abuse we were getting outside the Man City hotel and stuff.
Yeah,
I want to equal that one up, and I want to be able to walk around Nottingham and think to myself, we're just one behind you now. We're just one behind you, Forest.
Yeah, I know.
But we'll take it all day long. Yeah, I've got no nails for a reason. Watching City is never an easy watch sometimes, but tomorrow the nerves are going to be there. I'm sure once the game gets going, and we're bound to be frustrated. But I'm sure some genius free kick by Mahrez again, and he'll bounce off Neymar's backside or something. I'll take any kind of win tomorrow night just to get us that final. But I would like to see us get Real Madrid in the final because I think they'd be the easier option to play than Chelsea.
Well, Martin says, if we win 7 trophies, does that make us heptagonballs? What's heptagonballs? What's that? What's that word? What's that word all about?
We're going to be wombles.
Heptagonballs. Oh my lord! I think Martin's losing the plot. I've never heard of that word.
Is that on the Scrabble board?
Let me just. Is
he playing Scrabble?
I don't know. Let me just see if I can Google this. Heptagonballs.
Back in 1 minute, so I have to check something.
Okay. Heptagonballs.
That's not even a word on Countdown.
No, I've never heard of heptagonballs. No idea. I don't know where it's got that. I know heptagon's 7-sided shape. Come on, yeah, but heptagonballs. What's that? My lord. He tried basically. Heptagonballs. Heptagonables. I think he's trying to mix the formidables with the heptagon there. But nice try, buddy. Keep trying. Come up with another one. But anyway, Jack, I think he's just disappeared. He's coming back in a second. But I want to say a massive thank you to everyone. Thank you, Paul. Really do appreciate you coming on. We have looked at the Palace player ratings. We looked at the United debacle yesterday, and we sort of gave a quick overview and gave you our team lineups for tomorrow and the score predictions. So I'll just quickly go through them. Remember these for tomorrow. Paul said it's going to be Eddie, Walker, Stones, Diaz, Zinchenko, Rodri, KDB, Gundogan, Mahrez, Silva, and Foden. Jack thinks it's going to be Eddie, Walker, Stones, Diaz, and Zinchenko, Rodri, KDB, Gundogan, but this time he's going Foden, Jesus to keep his place, and Mahrez. I pretty much went with Paul. I said it was going to be Eddie, Walker, Stones, Diaz, Zinchenko, Rodri, KDB, Gundogan, Bernardo, Mahrez, KDB as the false 9, and Phil Foden. But I guess we'll wait and see. Paul thinks it's going to be a tight 1-0. Jack thinks it's going to be a tighter 1-1. And I went for a comfortable 3-1 to Man City. Just bring that up there. 7:30 p.m. start for the watch along. There you go for tomorrow night. It's going to be exciting. Legends, thanks for coming on, Jack and Paul. Thank you very much. Zinchenko, liking him more. Yeah, I think he'll play tomorrow. The surprise, says Jay Viva, the surprise will probably be Kun starting or Mendy. I'll be surprised. I'll be very surprised. But you never know after that goal at the weekend. But anyway, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way you'll be notified when new vlogs are out every day, or nearly every day. Sometimes we miss them because we've got family time, but and there's nothing really to talk about. But most days we put out a vlog. But Martin will be live tomorrow for the live watch along. There'll be no audio or video footage, but you'll have Martin's dulcet tones tomorrow night talking you through. Are going to be a very nervy night for some fans and confident night for others. But I guess we'll see what happens. Wednesday, we'll be back. I'll be back with Byron from PSG Fan TV doing a post-match. And please, whatever you do, City, don't let me down, because I can't do that one. Because he gave a confident 2-0 prediction to PSG for the first leg. Well, that didn't work out well for him. But, yeah, we'll see for Wednesday night. But, yeah, thank you so much. If you're not a Patreon, don't forget, the Patreon is available. You don't have to join. I know we've had a few debates with people in comments. You don't have to join. The videos will still remain free on Man City Fan TV most days, but there are a couple of shows and things and previews that are for Patreon only. And some of the videos you get ahead of time. So likes of the Friday Night Social, you can join us live on the Friday Night Social, get the opportunity to come on the Friday Night Social and have your say like Ozzy did on Friday night. And we will also be posting a little snippets of the Friday night social, probably later in the week. I might do that maybe Thursday or Friday morning. I'll give you a little breakdown of what we chatted about last Friday. But things like the Melbourne City derby, you get to see that way ahead of time, and others. But if you can support us, support us. If you can't, there's no problem whatsoever. There are still plenty of videos free on Man City Fan TV, and we thank you all for your support. We're nearly at 17,000 subscribers, so that would be amazing. If you can get us over the 17,000 before the end of the season, that'd be brilliant. Really, really good. That was our target, and we're pretty close. So if you're not a subscriber, give it a subscribe and give it a thumbs up. This video and all the videos that we provide for you free of charge here. But anyway, take care. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you again to Paul. Thank you to Jack. Really do appreciate you coming on. You've been brilliant, mate. Thank you, both of you. Thanks for your support. Thank you for coming on and giving us your comments. Yeah, 1 hour and 5 minutes until match day. Charlie Everett, 1 hour and 5 minutes until match day. Well, yeah, well, literally the match day. Yeah, you're absolutely spot on there, Charlie. Still waiting for Charlie. Come on, don't bottle it, mate. Get on the channel Jack's been on. Don't bottle it. Come on, get off that paddle board and get on Man City Fan TV, mate. But take care, stay safe, and don't forget to join Martin tomorrow for the live watch along. It's going to be great. And before I go, big shout out to these guys: Iota Thompson, Sean Fogarty, Philip Ward, Malcolm Horner, Ozzy, Charlie Everett, Ronnie Beaver, Unun Septium, SOS 2907, John Sensbeteri, Mike Bush, Connor Shaw, and Addy for being part of our patrons. Really do appreciate it. But take care, guys. Tune in tomorrow for another watch along. City versus PSG in the semi-final second leg from the Etihad. Take care. We'll see you soon.